In a tranquil bamboo forest, nestled within the heart of China, lived a curious panda named Bao. Bao was unlike any other panda. While others enjoyed munching on bamboo and lazing around, Bao's heart yearned for adventure. One day, while exploring a new section of the forest, Bao stumbled upon an ancient, crumbling map tucked inside a hollow bamboo shoot. The map, yellowed with age, depicted a mysterious forest hidden deep within the mountains, a place where no panda had ever ventured. Bao's eyes sparkled with excitement. A mysterious forest, he whispered to himself, the thrill of discovery coursing through him. But the forest was far away, beyond the mountains that loomed on the horizon. Bao knew he would have to be brave, clever, and determined to reach it. He could feel the weight of the journey ahead, but the allure of the unknown was too strong to resist. With a deep breath, Bao made up his mind. He would find this mysterious forest, no matter what challenges lay ahead. The next morning, Bao set out on his journey, leaving behind the familiar comfort of his bamboo grove. The path was long and winding, but Bao's resolve never wavered. He climbed steep hills, crossed swift rivers, and traversed dense forests, his excitement growing with every step. The landscape changed as he moved farther from home, the air growing cooler and the trees taller, their leaves whispering secrets as the wind rustled through them. After days of travel, Bao finally reached the foot of the mountains. He gazed up at the towering peaks, their snow-capped summits disappearing into the clouds. A sense of awe and apprehension washed over him. The map indicated that the mysterious forest lay on the other side, but the mountains stood in his way like formidable guardians. Bao knew this was just the beginning of his adventure, and he steeled himself for the challenges ahead. As Bao began his ascent up the mountain, he realized the climb was going to be more difficult than he had imagined. The rocky path was treacherous, and the air grew thinner with every step. Despite his determination, Bao couldn't help but feel a twinge of doubt. Could he really make it over the mountains? But whenever these thoughts crept in, Bao would pull out the old map and remind himself of the mysterious forest waiting on the other side. The first challenge came sooner than Bao expected. As he carefully navigated a narrow ledge, he heard a low rumbling sound. Before he could react, a large rock slide started, sending boulders tumbling down the mountain. Bao's heart raced as he dodged the falling rocks, his mind racing to find a way out. He quickly spotted a small cave to his right and leaped towards it just in time, narrowly avoiding the rock slide. Panting, Bao realized that the mountain was not going to make this journey easy for him. Inside the cave, Bao took a moment to catch his breath and gather his thoughts. The sound of the rock slide faded, leaving behind an eerie silence. Bao looked around the dimly lit cave and noticed something peculiar, a faint glow emanating from the back. Curiosity piqued, he cautiously approached the source of the light. As he got closer, he saw a cluster of glowing crystals embedded in the cave wall. They shimmered with an otherworldly light, casting a soft glow that illuminated the entire cave. "How beautiful," Bao murmured, mesmerized by the sight. But as he reached out to touch one of the crystals, he heard a voice soft and melodious, yet full of wisdom. "Only those who are pure of heart may take these crystals," the voice said, echoing through the cave. Startled, Bao looked around but saw no one. The voice continued, "These crystals will guide you through the darkest of paths, but only if your intentions are true." Bao nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. He gently took one of the crystals and placed it in his pouch. The crystal's light seemed to warm his heart, filling him with renewed determination. With the crystal as his guide, Bao ventured out of the cave, ready to face whatever challenges the mountain had in store. After overcoming the rock slide, Bao continued his journey up the mountain. The path grew steeper and the weather colder, but the crystal's glow provided warmth and comfort. As Bao reached a plateau, he noticed a figure in the distance, slowly making its way toward him. The figure was cloaked, and its face was hidden beneath a hood. Bao's heart skipped a beat. Who could this be? Was it friend or foe? As the figure approached, Bao saw that it was a gray-haired old panda, his eyes twinkling with mischief and wisdom. "Greetings, young traveler," the old panda said, his voice calm and soothing. "What brings you to these treacherous mountains?" Bao hesitated for a moment, but something about the old panda made him feel at ease. "I found a map," Bao explained, pulling it out. "It leads to a mysterious forest on the other side of these mountains. I want to find it." The old panda nodded thoughtfully, studying the map. "Ah, the mysterious forest," he murmured, a hint of nostalgia in his voice. "Not many have ventured there, and even fewer have returned. But those who do speak of its wonders and secrets. The journey is not easy, young one. Are you sure you are ready?" Bao looked the old panda in the eyes and nodded firmly. "I have to try. I want to discover its secrets." The old panda smiled warmly. "Very well, but beware. The forest is as beautiful as it is dangerous. You must keep your wits about you and trust in your heart." He handed Bao a small, intricately carved wooden staff. "This staff will help you on your journey. It has been passed down through generations of adventurers, each adding their wisdom to it." Bao accepted the staff with gratitude. It felt light yet strong in his paws, and he could sense a deep connection to the countless adventurers who had used it before him. "Thank you," Bao said, bowing to the old panda. "Good luck, young one," the old panda said, as he slowly walked away, disappearing into the mist. Bao watched him go, feeling both a sense of loss and a surge of confidence. He knew the old panda's words would echo in his mind throughout the journey. As Bao continued his climb, the terrain became increasingly difficult. The air grew colder, and the wind howled through the peaks, chilling him to the bone. Despite the challenges, Bao pressed on, the crystal's light guiding him. After what felt like days of endless climbing, Bao finally reached the summit of the mountain. The view from the top was breathtaking. Below him stretched a vast valley, lush and green, with a dense forest at its center. This was it, the mysterious forest. Bao felt a surge of excitement as he began his descent into the valley. The path down was steep and treacherous, but Bao's determination never wavered. As he neared the forest, he noticed something strange. The air seemed to hum with energy, and the trees seemed to glow with a faint, ethereal light. The forest was alive in a way Bao had never experienced before. Upon reaching the edge of the forest, Bao paused to catch his breath. The forest was dense, its towering trees blocking out most of the sunlight. The air was thick with the scent of moss and earth, and the only sounds were the rustling of leaves and the distant calls of unknown creatures. Bao felt a shiver run down his spine. This was no ordinary forest. Taking a deep breath, Bao stepped into the forest. The moment he did, the trees seemed to close in around him, and the path behind him disappeared. Bao felt a wave of panic but quickly calmed himself. He remembered the old panda's words and clutched the wooden staff tightly. He was not alone. He had the wisdom of the staff, the light of the crystal, and his own courage to guide him. As Bao ventured deeper into the forest, he began to notice strange things. The trees seemed to move on their own, their branches swaying in patterns that defied the wind. Shadows danced across the forest floor, and Bao could hear whispers in a language he didn't understand. But instead of fear, Bao felt a strange sense of wonder. This was a place of magic, a place where the ordinary rules of the world didn't apply. As Bao continued his journey through the forest, he came across a large clearing. In the center of the clearing stood an enormous tree, its trunk twisted and gnarled, its roots digging deep into the earth. The tree was unlike any Bao had ever seen. It radiated power, its leaves shimmering with a golden light. Bao approached the tree cautiously, sensing that it was more than just an ordinary tree. As he got closer, he noticed something strange. There was a face carved into the trunk of the tree. The face was ancient, with deep-set eyes and a wise, knowing expression. As Bao stood before the tree, the eyes slowly opened and the tree spoke in a deep, resonant voice. "Who dares to enter my domain?" The tree rumbled, its voice echoing through the clearing. Bao's heart raced, but he stood his ground. "My name is Bao," he said, his voice steady. "I have come to discover the secrets of the mysterious forest." The tree studied Bao for a moment before speaking again. "Many have come before you, seeking the same thing, but few have been worthy. Why should I allow you to pass?" Bao thought for a moment, then replied, "I do not seek power or riches. I seek knowledge, and to understand the mysteries of this forest, I wish to learn and grow from what I discover here." The tree seemed to consider Bao's words. Then, slowly, it nodded. "Very well, Bao. You may pass, but know this, the forest will test you, challenge you in ways you cannot imagine. Only those who are true of heart can survive its trials." Bao nodded in understanding. "I am ready," he said, his voice filled with determination. The tree's branches swayed as if in approval. "Then go, Bao. Your journey has just begun." With those words, the tree's eyes closed and it became still once more. Bao bowed to the ancient tree before continuing on his journey, the path ahead now clear. The forest seemed to open up before him, the trees parting to reveal a winding trail that led deeper into the heart of the mysterious forest. As Bao ventured deeper into the forest, he encountered various trials that tested his strength, courage, and wisdom. The first trial came in the form of a dark, misty swamp. The air was thick with fog, and the ground was soft and treacherous. Bao had to carefully navigate his way through, using his staff to test the ground before each step. At one point, he lost his footing and nearly sank into the swamp, but he managed to pull himself out just in time, his heart pounding in his chest. The second trial was a dense, thorny thicket that seemed impenetrable. The thorns were sharp and unforgiving, tearing at Bao's fur as he tried to push his way through, but Bao didn't give up. He remembered the crystal in his pouch and held it up, its light guiding him through the thick undergrowth. With patience and determination, Bao made it through the thicket, though his fur was scratched and his paws were sore. The third trial was perhaps the most difficult. Bao found himself in a maze of tall, twisted trees, their branches forming a labyrinth that seemed to have no end. No matter which way he turned, Bao felt like he was going in circles. Frustration began to set in, and Bao had to fight the urge to give up. But then he remembered the old panda's advice, "Trust in your heart." Bao closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and let his instincts guide him. Slowly but surely, he began to find his way through the maze, the path becoming clearer with each step. Finally, after what felt like hours, Bao emerged from the maze. He was exhausted, his body aching from the trials he had endured, but his spirit was unbroken. Bao knew that he had come too far to turn back now. The heart of the forest was near, and with it, the answers he sought. As Bao pressed on, he felt the atmosphere of the forest change. The air became warmer, and the light grew brighter. The trees were taller and more majestic, their leaves shimmering with a golden hue. The path led Bao to a large open glade where a magnificent tree stood at its center. This tree was unlike any other he had seen. It was enormous, its branches stretching high into the sky, and its trunk was covered in ancient runes that glowed faintly. Bao approached the tree with a sense of reverence. He knew that this was the heart of the mysterious forest, the source of its magic and power. As he stood before the tree, he felt a deep connection to the forest and its secrets. The crystal in his pouch began to glow brighter, and Bao felt a warmth spread through his body. Suddenly, the runes on the tree began to glow more intensely, and a soft melodic voice filled the glade. "Welcome, Bao," the voice said. "You have proven yourself worthy of the forest's secrets. You have shown courage, wisdom, and determination. Now you may ask one question, and the forest will answer." Bao was taken aback. One question. He had so many, but he knew he had to choose wisely. After a moment of thought, Bao asked, "What is the true purpose of this forest?" The voice replied, "The mysterious forest exists to protect the balance of nature. It is a place of great power and wisdom, but also of great danger. Those who seek to exploit its power for selfish reasons will never find their way, but those who seek knowledge and understanding as you have will find the answers they seek." Bao nodded, understanding the importance of the forest and its role in the world. "Thank you," he said, his heart filled with gratitude. The tree's glow began to fade, and the voice spoke one last time. "Your journey is not over, Bao. The knowledge you have gained here is a gift, but it also comes with responsibility. Use it wisely and continue to protect the balance of nature." With those final words, the light faded completely and the glade returned to its tranquil state. Bao stood in silence for a moment, reflecting on everything he had learned. He knew that his journey had changed him and that he had a new purpose in life. With a newfound sense of purpose, Bao began his journey back home. The forest, which had once seemed so mysterious and foreboding, now felt like an old friend. The trials he had faced, the challenges he had overcome, all felt like steps on a path that had led him to this moment. As he retraced his steps, Bao noticed that the forest seemed to guide him, the path always clear and welcoming. When Bao finally emerged from the forest, he was greeted by the familiar sight of the mountains, their peaks glowing in the light of the setting sun. The journey down the mountain was much easier than the climb, and before long, Bao found himself back in the bamboo grove he called home. As he entered the grove, the other pandas gathered around him, curious about his adventure. Bao smiled and began to tell them the story of his journey, the trials he had faced, the creatures he had met, and the secrets he had uncovered. The pandas listened in awe, their eyes wide with wonder. But Bao knew that his journey was not just a tale to be told. It was a lesson, a reminder of the importance of balance and the need to protect the natural world. He knew that he had been given a great responsibility, and he was determined to fulfill it. In the days that followed, Bao used the knowledge he had gained from the forest to help his fellow pandas. He taught them about the importance of protecting their home, the bamboo grove, and the need to live in harmony with nature. Bao's wisdom and courage inspired others, and soon the pandas were working together to ensure that their grove would remain a safe and thriving place for generations to come. And so, Bao's journey came full circle. He had set out in search of adventure and knowledge, and he had found not only that, but also a deeper understanding of his place in the world. The mysterious forest had changed him, but it had also given him the strength and wisdom to protect the balance of nature, not just in his own home, but wherever his journey might take him next. If you like the story, then subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories.